Okay, Seabass, not really sure what you're not getting about moving cameras around here. So basically you want to get different camera angles and that kind of thing, but you're not sure how to move the cameras. Well, let's get Source Filmmaker started to begin with. Create a session, load a map. Let's come down to a capture map. Oh, let's do Foundry. Okay, currently I have no map no camera loaded, and I'm going to leave it that way for a second. I'm going to switch here to the timeline through the motion editor, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the work camera around. Notice how that when I had no camera there and I wanted to move the camera, it automatically switched to the work camera. So basically here we have the scene, and what I'm doing is I'm holding down the left mouse button and I'm just pivoting the mouse back and forth. Okay? Now if I want to walk forward, what I do is I hold down the left mouse button and I push the W key and I walk forward. Now I can go faster or slower by holding down the W key and the Shift key at the same time. By holding down the Shift key I go a lot faster, and you'll see I came right off the map. Okay? To move slower, what I do is I hold down the left mouse button, the W key, and the Control key, and I move slower. Go faster, go slower. Shift key goes faster, and the Control key goes slower. Now I'm going to come up here to this lamp here, and if I did it right, what's going to happen is I'm going to hold down the left mouse button, I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and it's not doing it again for me. Anyway, let's just take a walk through and see if we can find another object that we can spin around. Now if you find that you're outside the map like this, everything turns black, what you have to do is you have to move the camera around until you find the actual map and move the camera back onto the map. Now I'm going to come down here to this oil barrel and see if I can make it work. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key and now the left Control key, and I can pivot around the barrel. So that's the Alt key first, then the left mouse button. And if I let go of the Alt key now, I can still continue to hold down the left mouse button. I continue to be able to rotate around that barrel. Okay, now I'd let go of the mouse button and I'm just moving the mouse left and right with the left mouse button down, and I'm pivoting. So Alt, left mouse button allows me to rotate around an object. Just the left mouse button and moving the mouse allows me to pivot the camera. Okay, so anyway, left mouse button down, W key, we're walking through the map. Oh, I went too far, I want to back the map up. Left mouse button down, S key allows me to go backwards. Walk forward with the W key, move backwards with the S key, and that's with the left mouse button down. Now let's say I want to sidestep to the left or to the right, left mouse button down, press the A key and I move left, press the D key and I move right. Now let's say I want to move up and down, hold down the left mouse button, press the Z key and I go up, press the X key and I go down. Okay? Now, the other thing that you can do with camera is you can rotate the camera. Okay, so right now I've got the left mouse button down and I'm holding down the R key and I'm moving the mouse to the right, and I'm rotating to the right. Hold the R button down and the left mouse button down and move to the left, and I'm rotating to the left. Okay, so we got that back. Now I'm going to add a camera, and the same thing applies. So I'm going to add a new camera, and this would be the shot camera. Now if I move forward and I hold down the Alt key and the left mouse button, I'm able to pivot around the object as long as it's in the center of sphere. Okay. Holding down the left mouse button and moving the camera left or right, I pivot, up, down. Okay. Holding down the left mouse button, pushing the W key, I walk forward. Holding down the left mouse button, pushing S, I move backwards. Holding down the left mouse button, pressing A, I move sideways to the left. Holding down the left mouse button and pushing the D key, I move to the right. Holding down the left mouse button, pushing the R, I can rotate the camera left and right. And basically that's your camera movements. Now, as R234 told you, if you actually make an animation set for the camera, and right here I'm going to create an animation set for this camera. I can do it from here, or I can come over here and I can create a new animation set for new camera here. And what it does is it will create, if I do it over here, it will make the animation set for the current camera. If I do it over here, it will make it for new camera. So I'm going to select camera 2 now, and I'm just going to hold down the left mouse button. Okay. In the motion editor, it allows me to move it if the camera is selected. If the camera is not selected, I can do anything I want. I can hold down all kinds of keys and it's not going to move. So if you've got a shot camera and you find that you can't move it when you're in the motion editor, you most likely have an animation set for it. It has to be selected in order for it to move. Now I can move and place this camera anywhere I want, and the same rules apply. If I come down here and I hold down the Alt key and I hold down the left mouse button, it will pan around the object. Holding down the left mouse button and just moving the mouse will pivot it. And the pan actually works up and down as well. Okay, so that's how you move a camera. If you have any questions, write it back in the question in your discussion there, and we'll see what we can do for you. Other than that, that's all I can tell you. And with that, I say Private Jack out.